Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SKiMPod, SKiMPod.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, it's the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum 216,
Lunchbox 2099,
The Real ODP.
And I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrell 713.
Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy.
Nigga, that watch is nice. That's what you bought for me. That chain is nice. That's what you bought for me. Them earrings is nice. That's what you bought for me. Take that shit off. Move, I'll break you off properly. I get mine the fast way, the SKiM ass way. Make money, money. Nigga, if you ask me, it's the only way. Take money, money. You want to spread me? Go ahead. The last nigga that tried got hit, killed over, and blessedly died. Your little sister calling you stupid. Reason why? Her and your mom in the living room now hog-tied. I came up with 2 new ways to get rich. I can't wait. I got a brand new SIG in that old 38. I be scheming to put a little bread on my plate. Watching Dread serve skunk through a hole in the gate. I stick a nigga for his shine, sell it back the next day. You thought I really wanted your pussy? Bitch, please, this is Stash House. Jackpot. There go them keys. My black G-Unit hoodie just reek of marijuana. Cocaine coming out my pores in a sauna. I'm serious, man. I'm so sincere. This the flow right here that fucked up Jeffrey's career. Make money, take money. Yeah. Hello, welcome to it. That's a hard-ass lyrics to go into a gentle-ass, hi, how you doing? But it stays Crunchy Milk. It's episode 475 and big up Strasburg Railroad. I am your host. I'm the Internet 713. I'm joined by my fellow host. It's Tatum 216.
Rest in peace to Disco D, the producer of that song.
SKiM ass way.
This ain't a podcast, but we still gotta stay sharp.
That's what's up. And of course, we're joined by the homeboy Lunchbox 2099. What's the good word?
All right, give me a minute. We're gonna be here for a minute, so bear with me. But I'm gonna do my best. Sorry. It's been 3 weeks since you've been looking for your friend, the one you let hit and never called you again. Remember when he told you he was about the Benjamins? You act like you ain't hear him, then give him a little trim. To begin, how you think you really gonna pretend? Like he wasn't down, then you called him again. Plus, when you give it up so easy, you ain't even fooling him. If you did it then you probably fuck again. Talking out your neck saying you a Christian? A Muslim sleeping with the jinn. Now with the sin that did Jezebel in, who you gonna tell when the repercussions spin? Showing off your ass because you think it's a trend? Girlfriend, let me break it down for you again. You know I only say it because I'm truly genuine. Don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem. Baby girl, respect is just the minimum. Word I can't say fucked up and you still defending them. Now Lauren is only human. Don't think I haven't been through the same predicament. Let it slide. Let it sit inside your head like a million women in Philly pen. It's silly when girls sell their soul because it's in. Look at where you be in hair weaves like Europeans. Fake nails done by Koreans. Come again. Win-win. Come again. Brethren, come again. My friend, come again. Yo, come again.
Guys, you know you need to watch out. Some girls are only about that thing. God damn, this song goes so hard.
Damn, man, I love when you do the lyrics, but man, you getting too comfortable because you saying it with too much feeling now. Before you was just I'm listening, like I listen every week. And every week you're getting more and more. You're getting comfortable. Before it was, yes, but you were very robotic. Now, like last week, I thought last week was your peak of throwing your own little thing into it. But this week you did it again. I think when you no, I think I noticed it first when you did Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
What?
Which none of y'all got to hear.
Oh shit!
But patrons, I did keep it all, and I'm gonna give you a file that's called "Cutting Room Floor" that you'll get to hear some nonsense of some stuff that got moved and taken out.
So, if I'm being honest, the only reason I started doing it was to fuck with T a little bit.
I know,
but like in a fun way, not in a
cruel, not a cruel way.
Yeah. But then, like, the more I've been doing it, the more I started to look forward to it. And now the more, rather than like feeling like I have to do it to fuck with them, I'm doing it because I want to, because I like it. So like it's each week goes by and I'm feeling more comfortable and I'm getting into it. And I'm trying to make it feel like an expression at like a poem reading, like at a coffee shop, like we're all vibing here. Like, because I can't harmonize like Lauryn Hill or Mariah Carey or any of the other women I've read, but like I can feel what they're saying, I could try and put the correct emphasis on the right syllable, give it a little story to it,
I understand.
So it's a good time to be had, y'all. But you know what it is? It's as I talk away from the microphone, which just does you no good, listener. You know what it is. This remote means we got a couple of news stories. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about our lives, and then we're going to do some amateur assholes and leave. In that order. This is the last show of 2022 as we record it. Well, no, as you hear it, it will be the last show of 2022. And I have this has been a year. It's been an interesting year. It's been a real good bang for States Crunchy and Milk in general. We have successfully, in my opinion, a podcast. We took Creme and spun it away from our Patreon. That's no disrespect to the patrons. It's just it was such a good show, and I always put it up a week later on our feed anyway. That it got its own feed and it's going well, in my opinion. I think we really make a good show. It's like and like I said, numbers aren't huge, but people who do listen to it seem to enjoy it, and every now and again will reach out and write to us and so forth. And I dig on that. It's been like I said, in my opinion, a pretty solid year in the production of this in the production of these shows. Cadillac, we've been doing a solid job on. We got one out just about every month. Without fail over there on, with my man Chalfie and so forth. We got a lot of good guests this year, which I've been happy about. And I just want to make sure we do even more next year. As next year, 2023 is 10 years of doing this show. And that is bonkers. So when you think about it, because I'm telling you right now, but here on the real, besides one time that everybody knows of, there's never been anything that has made this show feel shaky. We the first edit of this show got edited in a way that made it sound like Box said he went to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday and he was not having it because he felt it made him look foolish.
Oh, that, yeah.
And it was the only time. It was the only time that it got to. If this is gonna be the way we do it, and I ain't doing it. It's the first and one time it happened, and it never happened again. But also, I took over editing to this. That first one, Vanessa edited for us, and that's not. And she didn't edit it to make boxing foolish. She's just a judicious ass editor, and so she was probably trying to cut something else and got that and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, this has been a solid steam engine that has been running. It runs well. We have figured out at each and every time we need to a way to get around whatever. So like when we recording at my house became more of a challenge, we started recording downtown. We go to Box's house record as well. When they said basically go your ass home, again we shifted and figured out what we needed to do to record remotely. And actually, I feel like we was recording remotely before. Were we recording remotely before the pandemic? No,
No.
okay, because we always record at lunch. We wouldn't we? So okay,
And
but we
the only thing we did remotely was a pod called Cast with Brian.
yeah, true indeed. And so we have adjusted address and we've been good at it. So hitting 10 years makes perfect sense because I'm saying we ride. I'm saying we buddies and we still do this shit and it's still a delight. Every week I love coming together just to get caught up on stuff. I'm saying we all we all text and message just about every damn day. But it's always nice to be like, let me give you something in story form that happened to me this week. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm very proud of what we've done in 2022. I'm super hyped about what we can do in 2023. Props to everybody who came in this year as a guest. That's Delvin Cox, that's Carl Tart, that's Nick Jew, that's my man Mike Fowler, of course, SKiM Six Man, Big Chalfie, everybody who came through and guested with us. If I missed somebody, my apologies. It's been dope. We gonna just try to keep doing more in the new year.
I'm gonna add the voicemails and the emails into that too.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, look. Though it shouldn't go without saying, it kind of does go without saying that April, William Jackson Kent, Vanessa, the Silver Coquille, are people who just they keep this little engine running because they show love regularly enough. Word to my man Bill, you know what I'm saying, Slaterific, and people like him who like, yo man, I fuck with y'all. I'm listening to what y'all doing, and I get down with the get down, and it's dope that
your family. That was a great episode.
Oh, as in my mama, my sister, my brother. Yeah. Thank you. I'm like, I guess we did. Oh, also,
and your family proper.
My family proper, and that patrons, as you hear this, by the time you hear this, it should be posted already. We finally got that the episode of me and Xander in Toronto, the video portion of edited down into I think a pretty fun little video that you all will have. It's edited. All I got to do is post it. I have nothing to do but give it to you. Well, I guess I got to upload it. Actually, I don't have to upload it to YouTube because Patreon now lets me upload videos on Patreon itself. So, but that is will be made available to you. I'll get to it at some point. It's done though, so it's dope. So I got some more stuff here, guys. So shouts out to all the patrons. Y'all know who y'all are. Thank you for your support. It truly does help more than you would ever know. Like I said, just ride out with that. So that all having been said, first up as always is Tatum. I guess I'm supposed to do you news, aren't I? So let me give you my two news stories. I was about to come out of order myself. First news story: handy map shows in Cleveland as elsewhere, suburbs and exurbs are driving carbon emissions. Bigger houses, longer commutes, and sprawl are, it turns out, bad for the environment. This is by Maria Elena Scott over at Scene Cleveland. 2/3 of Cuyahoga County residents are worried about climate change, and nearly half believe it will affect them personally, according to a recent study conducted by the Yale Program on Climate Change Communication. These residents should see how drastically carbon emissions differ by area. Using data from Cool Climate, the New York Times this week mapped carbon emissions by neighborhood across the country. These maps shows, unsurprisingly, that the suburbs and exurbs produce far more greenhouse gas emissions than dense cities. Because residences, businesses, and services in cities are geographically closer, residents tend to drive less in their daily lives. As such, dense cities generate less carbon emissions than sprawling suburbs, where residents log long commutes to work and anywhere else. City dwellings are usually smaller than their suburban counterparts, which means they require less energy for heating and cooling. Outside of cities, the trend reverses. Density and wealth are the two biggest determinants, which is why there's such a dramatic difference between an example 44040 Gates Mill, which has the highest average carbon footprint in the county at 85.6 tons, and 44115, which has an average household carbon footprint of 16.5 tons. Travel by either car or airplane is a big contributor to emissions, as is shopping, because both travel and shopping typically increase with income. Richer people usually produce more greenhouse gases. But while measures like avoiding fast fashion and limiting meat consumption can help reduce emissions, they are drops in the bucket compared to the biggest thing Americans can focus on. Anyone who cares about climate policy really needs to pay a lot more attention to housing, said RMI Urban Transformation Program Senior Associate Zach Subin. Amid a national housing shortage, affordability and availability are often easier to find in communities with higher emissions. Building population-dense, multifamily dwellings, especially with close access to public transit, is one way to effectively lower community emissions. And, you hear a story like that, and it's like, that all makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? You get out to the burbs lately, and it's just like all these little mini mansions and so forth, and a good chunk of them are empty because nobody can afford them in this current inflationary environment. So like we drove past like a full ass neighborhood is built over on I guess that would have been Westlake is where we were at the other day. And I was just like, that shit is done. It's like done. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all the motherfuckers look empty. So it's just like I constantly keep hearing stories, TikTok really do keep a motherfucker informed. I got to give it up to them about how house builders and companies like that are like intentionally keeping places empty and therefore keeping rent prices up and housing prices up because of course they make more money by doing that. And I'm like, that shit is collusion like a motherfucker, but because because it doesn't fall under standard collusionary rules or laws, they seem to not do anything about it. And so of course, having to drive from Brunswick to downtown Cleveland, which so many people we know do, is a whole lot of carbon getting, a whole lot of just emissions coming out your car and so forth and so on. So all that holds sway because it's logical. It makes perfect sense. I work from home now. All I do is drive to the store. And I've been good about walking to the store actually as of late. Like if I need to just go, like Vanessa wants a Diet Coke, I'm like, okay, I'll walk to the drug mart. It's a far enough walk that it's reasonable. I can get my steps in, you feel me? And so we all out here. Bruh, me and recycling. That's been one thing. I've been trying to be so much better about recycling, and my family just don't want to cook with me on this regard. They just be like, I constantly tell them, look, food box refuse is trash. It can't be recycled. They don't want you to even put in a thing. I have the signage on my fridge. It says it right there. Like, this is what can be recycled. This is what that cannot be recycled. And constantly, I'm just like, why is this in my damn recycling bin? That can't be recycled. Put that in the trash. Makes me insane. Also, none of my family can break down a box. Not a one of them. It's just like, please break down the boxes. I can fit more boxes in the damn recycle bin when you do that. Come on, people. It's upsetting. Not really upsetting.
Maybe
it's
you
frustrating.
need a trash compactor.
I don't even know where I'd put a trash compactor.
They ain't that big.
But they could also just break the fucking boxes down, eh?
They could. but the thing is, they could, but they can't.
They clearly cannot, bro. They clearly cannot.
Yeah, like we were talking about like future chores, and my partner was like, "Y'all gonna be washing the dishes?" And I'm like, "No, they not. I'm not about to be getting sick." So y'all can clean up your room and stuff, but the dishes, y'all can leave that to me. I don't mind. I don't mind washing the dishes if it keep me from getting sick.
It is one of those things where I'm just like, and it gets Vanessa's go because she like, they should be washing dishes. I'm like, none of y'all wash dishes the way I wash dishes, and I don't like it. And because none of y'all wash this the way I wash dishes, I'm just gonna do the damn dishes. Now, sometimes I'll be like, look, load the dishwasher or unload the dishwasher, and when it's done, let me come check it before we run it. And then say, well, we can go with that. But that is one of the things I'm just like, I am particularly touchy about. And I know it, and it's cool. And also, they room, I don't give a damn. As long as it ain't got like food funk in it, I try to actually let them walk and be like, that is your domain. Do with it what you will. If you want your little friends to come over and see your shitty ass, stinking ass room, that is really on you and not on me. And that actually has paid off with Lee, and that Lee will take care of their room most of the time. Xander's room remains a mess. Just never clean. But
I
he also
heard
don't. Yeah, he ain't never home no more. You know what I'm saying?
I heard on the Cadillac show that that Xander wanted sheets for his bed. Xander growing up, he wanted that for Christmas. That's new and different.
That is some grown man business, and they have of course been acquired, and I will. I'm going to wrap them regardless, even though it's going to be. I feel like those are going to be the tough wraps because they soft. You know what I'm saying? So
Like this year, I got especially well for everybody. These bags. These bags are humongous.
really,
They fold out several times. I got 3 of those bags. And then,
all y'all covered it. There you go. That's your gift
and then,
sack.
then, you know, they got these little tags on them to such and such from Santa. They'll
Yeah,
all say. And that's gonna be the end because, like, man, wait until Christmas Eve, which is my partner's birthday. I mind you, to wrap presents is BITCH and a third.
that is my normal thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But today, as I sat there today and and got basically no real work, I was like, all right, I got to get on this shit. So I started rapping today, which I know is like it's still pretty close to the day, but it's like today was the day I was like, let me start actually go ahead wrapping shit up. So, and I'm probably gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do probably do some, not no probably to it. I will do some more tomorrow, so that hopefully Saturday it is just a real quick little like, okay, cool, everything is done, I'm good to go, and anything that cannot be wrapped but is small enough, I'll just throw in the stocking, and we keep a motherfucking moving. Okay, assuming I have 3 gifts out in the wind right now. One was supposed to arrive today, it got pushed back to tomorrow. That's basically when it showed up at my post office. It is at my post office. It said it got there today at 4:01 p.m. So that should be here tomorrow. Box's president said it'll be here tomorrow. We can double check that right now, just cause. Just make sure. Cause if it changed, I'm gonna be super salty. Cause it's gonna be like, yeah, that's Vanessa's right there. Boxes says that I must have closed that link. So let me go into my email and crack it open right quick. Search. Yeah, it says it'll be here tomorrow. And Lee has a headphone case that has simply not shipped. At last check, that shit just said in process. And I'm like, well, okay, clearly that is not going to arrive on time. And I guess I just have to accept that. So let's click on this track my order on this particular site, and let's see if it's moved at all. Nope, still says order being processed. So that shit definitely ain't gonna be here. So, but what's dope about that and okay with that one is I had already ordered a case on my own before they sent me and said I want this particular case. So they'll have a case. They just won't have that case, and that's okay in my opinion. So you know this, and like I said, this is where we talking about carbon footprint. This is where your boy gets a real. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, mind you, everything all I'm using will be easily recycled, and we take good care of that. But I love wrapping presents. I love that shit. Wrapping each one of them individual motherfuckers. It's just a bag full of wrapped things, and I love it because I like seeing it. I love that experience. I love that watching everybody unwrap shit and so forth, and it is a delight, and it's my shit. And so your shit wrapped, his shit'll be wrapped upon its arrival. Ness's shit is in the process of wrapping. I've wrapped at least 2 things.
Well,
so
as T saw earlier today, nothing I gave him was wrapped. It was in a bag. The one thing came still in the mailing, so I guess that's technically wrapped.
Mm-hmm. Let's put some respect on it.
And I can assure you that Anthony's bag, which is now completely put together and waiting him, nothing in that bag is wrapped either.
If it's not too bad tomorrow, I'll before it gets too late, I'll drop by your house because I planned on going this week, but shit don't never go to plan when your kids are home all day all day with you. But we'll talk more about that in my segment.
On to the good. Second story. Exclusive. No shit. It's from Forbes. TikTok spied on Forbes journalists. So a story like this, which is specifically about the group or people that is writing about it, almost seems like, I don't know. But we'll go from there. This is Emily Baker White, Forbes staff writer. ByteDance confirmed it used. They're saying when it says that, like I'm gonna read you something else. I'm gonna read you that first sentence. Then we're gonna delve into why that sentence also ain't quite what it says it is. ByteDance confirmed it used TikTok to monitor journalists' physical location using their IP addresses, as first reported by Forbes in October. Now, this says an internal investigation by ByteDance, the parent company of video sharing platform TikTok, found that employees tracked multiple journalists covering the company. Right there, that's different than TikTok itself officially saying this is a TikTok policy. This is some people in this company doing that. But they say TikTok did it. And when they say TikTok did it, it seems like the company has made an official, move on this and like, hey, go spy on these motherfuckers. That's just not what's happening. Not that I'm trying to cheer for TikTok, whatever like that, but I'm like, let's be better about how we write shit. You can't be saying TikTok did this and then tell me 2 sentences later, well, some people in TikTok did this. Let's go. Found that employees tracked multiple journalists covering the company improperly gaining access to their IP addresses and user data in an attempt to identify whether they had been in the same locales as ByteDance employees. According to materials reviewed by Forbes, ByteDance tracked multiple Forbes journalists as part of its covert surveillance campaign, which was designed to unearth the source of leaks inside the company following a drumbeat of stories exposing the company's ongoing links to China. As a result of the investigation into the surveillance tactics, ByteDance fired Chris Leptak, its chief internal auditor, who led the team responsible for them. The China-based executive Song Yi, who Leptak reported to and who reports directly to ByteDance CEO Rubo Liang, resigned. I was deeply disappointed when I was notified of this situation, and I'm sure you feel the same, Liang wrote in an internal email shared with Forbes. The public trust that we have spent huge efforts building is going to be significantly undermined by the misconduct of a few individuals. I believe this situation will serve as a lesson to us all. It's standard practice for companies to have an internal audit group authorized to investigate code of conduct violations, TikTok General Counsel Eric Anderson wrote in a second internal email shared with Forbes. However, in the case, individuals misused their authority to obtain access to TikTok user data. Forbes first reported the surveillance tactics, which were overseen by a China-based team at ByteDance in October. Asked for comment on that story, ByteDance and TikTok did not deny the surveillance, but they took to Twitter after the story was published to say TikTok has never been used to target any member of the U.S. government, activists, public figures, or journalists, and that TikTok could not monitor U.S. users in the way the article suggested. In the internal email, Liang acknowledged that TikTok had been used in exactly the way Forbes had reported. This investigation, internally known as Project Raven, began this summer after BuzzFeed News published a story revealing that China-based ByteDance employees had repeatedly accessed U.S. user data based on more than 80 hours of audio recordings of internal TikTok meetings. According to internal ByteDance documents reviewed by Forbes, Project Raven involved the company's chief security and privacy office, was known as TikTok's head of global legal compliance, and was approved by ByteDance employees in China. It tracked Emily Baker White, the person who wrote this story. So like I said, already I'm like, Catherine Schwab and Richard Nieva, 3 Forbes journalists that and also she writing like this is not her writing the story. It's weird, right?
Definitely.
3 Forbes journalists that formerly worked at BuzzFeed News. This is direct assault on the ideal of free press and the critical role in a functioning democracy, says Randall Lane, the chief content officer of Forbes. The story that we're reading is on Forbes, y'all. Like I said, it just, all this rings a little weird to me. It'll be in your show notes, the rest of this, and it keeps going further than this. I get it. We all supposed to hate China. That's what they want us to do because China this and China that. But man, I know we doing dirt as a United States company, and I know if you thought about it, any company that is here is probably doing similar dirt. But they keep trying to put it on the squeeze on TikTok because it's Chinese, and therefore it must be dirty. Like, motherfucker, we do the same dirt. We always been doing the same dirt. They always talk about how terrible the prisons in Russia was for poor Brittany Griner, when more people have died at Rikers this year than any year before to this year. Like, we all doing this dirt. Every one of us is doing this fucking dirt, and we all know it. But y'all want to pretend like our dirt is less filthy than theirs, and it's simply not. So that's why it's like, I guess, but I know this is some bullshit. So, that's your news stories for the week. I'm sorry to get so salty, but I be hating that bullshit. It's like, come on, Bray. Really? Y'all gonna pretend shit's sweet when it's just not? Job so-and-so's. But I hand the reins of the show over to my man Ant. As you will, dear sir.
Hello. My name is Anthony, and this is where I tell some shit. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But guess what? It's my time to do it. So let's
shine, baby, shine.
So, my boss was going on vacation on Friday. Well, and I seen her still online at 5 o'clock, and I'm like, all right. I lick my fingers and I start typing. I said, are there any days next week that are available? And then she asked me some other questions, and I'm like, I got 2 days I got 2 more days I need to schedule. So Friday at 5:22, she finally responded and was like, Tuesday and Wednesday are available. So Wednesday was already a good day to have off because my son needed to take an allergy test, and they're on vacation this week from school. So, like we were just talking about earlier, like this week is already busy enough as it is. Having to prepare for Christmas dinner, birthday dinners, and all just like normal everyday stuff. And like my partner had I guess technically she had a birthday party on Saturday, which was so much fucking work. It's just been, first, I can't wait until like I'm truly off later on this week so I can just sleep. I haven't really been able to like have like any good rest lately. But then also, I like New Year's. New Year's seems pretty good. It's like it's not a it's a very pizza friendly holiday. It's a very friendly pizza and wings where you can just be like, oh yeah, champagne and pizza go together, baby. But so a couple milestones happened this week. My youngest son, he still is all about like, yeah, I'll like a hot dog for dinner, or
hey, that's literally what I ate for dinner today.
What kind of hot dog was it?
Ballpark.
Okay, I think we got like
You're
Oscar
muted.
Mayer natural.
I just said they plump when you cook them. It wasn't even worth you stopping for. I'm sorry.
We have natural Angus Oscar Mayers in the house. Those seem to be the hot dogs that the kids really enjoy.
I had a bunch of like the Wagyu hot dogs, but those got lost in the great freezer unplugging of 2022.
I could okay. I thought about you on Monday for a number of reasons, but one,
I like where this is going so far.
So Monday is our trash day.
Mine too.
When things go out, they go out on Monday. So we had I cooked some broccoli, and so I guess it was pretty much like at the bottom of this bowl it was broccoli juice,
and it was like another glass bowl like sitting right on top of it. So like I don't think I washed the dishes like until like maybe Tuesday morning or something like that. So it was this funky ass smell in the kitchen. I took out the trash. Like I hadn't washed it. It was like nothing else in the sink. But I was like, what is that smell? So I lifted up that bowl, and it was that little bit of broccoli juice at the beginning, at the bottom of the bowl that made the whole front half of the house smell like crap. And I'm like, damn, man, that's what my man Dan must have been going through when he had that food go bad. Imagine a bunch of food only had like this much broccoli juice at the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah, man, it was rough that day. Thankfully, like it wasn't winter yet. It was just like crisp, brisk fall air. So we were able to crack the windows in the laundry room and get a air purifier in there. So it was gone within like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But before that, man, ooh, it was funky.
Yeah, I was very close to buying another freezer. Like I kind of want to get an upright freezer, but just hadn't made it there yet. But anywho, one of the milestones this week is like I said, it's been a very busy week. I kind of feel like during the day when the boys aren't here, I can put in loads of clothes. I can do this, do that. Like I can put off eating and stuff because I'm starving myself. I'm not starving a 5 and a 7-year-old. So like you got to make lunch and stuff, and like I'm trying to think of what we did Tuesday because it was something. So my partner found it was this place. I think it's called Penitentiary Glen, and it's like some kind of nature place. She drove us out there, and it was like a big ass bird candy land, and they gave you cards, and, as in game pieces, and you mix them up, and you walk around the candy land. It was exactly how it sounds. It was just it just was what it was. It was for kids. It wasn't really for adults. So we did that one day, and kind of the purpose of going out like early because as we were talking about pre-show, the streets is crazy. Streets is like mad with people who didn't think of their grandma or aunt 3 weeks ago, knowing that she like the shit she like already. She likes a sweater. Like just get her that and order it early. And other people are pretty fortunate because one thing I always forget to bring this up with you guys because sometimes I'll be feeling like I need to call y'all for help. I can't order anything from Amazon. I cannot for not
like a moral thing or like your system doesn't work.
No, because I share Amazon with my partner. Like so, like,
you can have separate Amazon accounts and share of your your Prime.
She's had it, but she keep on logging back into mine. She had one and I forgot what happened with it. But so with that being said, like one definite present I wanted to buy her was she has a Samsung Galaxy 4 smartwatch, and it comes with a little charger. But I thought it would be nicer to get her like a nice proper stand for it.
Yeah.
All the best ones are on Amazon. Like the ones on Best Buy are like either not exactly what I want or like highly overpriced. And I've been looking up and Googling them for months now, and I was just like, it's only one person in this house with a Galaxy Samsung 4 watch in this house, and if it's coming to the house, it's totally spoiled. Of course,
yeah. If you ever need to like go into my account and order something and send it here, I'll gladly store it for you.
Yeah, I was saying either that or like have it sent to my mother's house and claim it's for somebody over there. What is this like?
I know, but like if you're sharing the account and she's logged in, she'll get the alerts of the delivery and she'll know what it is, and like that ruins it.
It's one of the one of the tedious parts of trying to think outside of the box. One and two, you know, just one of the things about ordering stuff for Christmas. That's always been the case. Like, oh yeah, I seen. She'll just straight up say it like, I seen that thing. Is that for me? I'm like, yes, for you.
That's why I like what I've adopted from you guys of like getting things throughout the year and just like putting them in a box.
Yeah.
Because like it makes it so that I'm not at the end of the year going, man, what the fuck do I get anybody? Like I don't know what they want or I don't know what they like or whatever. Like I already got it. It's done.
Yeah, I have your one thing right here. I'm touching it. I got something for tea right here. I'm touching it. So we decided on Tuesday to go out for my partner's birthday dinner. She picked Outback Steakhouse, and that was like she got this.
I'm only laughing because literally I was just like reading my one of my group chats like while you were telling this story, and the one guy is high right now, and he's bugging out because he wanted to order the shrimp from Outback on Uber Eats, but they're closed.
Those shrimp were incredible. Like, so we ordered. My partner got this new steak that come under like a smoke dome, and like it was like you ever go to a restaurant and you somebody orders something and everybody turn around and look at it when it's coming through.
Fajitas.
I wish
that's for safety.
Yes. So like it comes in this big like Mysterio looking glass dome, and then they lift it up, the pomp and circumstance of it.
They probably do the whole thing like we watch on like the YouTube cooking shows where they have like the smoke machine and pump it through with the nozzle and just keep it there.
Mm-hmm. It looks incredible, but man, I wasn't pissed, but I ordered a salad. I always pretty much order salad when I go out. That was the brownest lettuce I've ever seen. Like I know they seen that shit, and like the cucumbers. You could fucking see through them. They were so old. They were like so watery. Didn't get my salad that night. But my oldest son ordered a steak for the first time at a restaurant, and he was super pumped about it. Like soon as he found out he was going to a steak restaurant, he was like, "I want a steak. Can I get a steak?"
What cut did he order?
I think it's called like a junior sirloin or something like that.
Okay, a sirloin steak. Okay.
A
sirloin steak is good because for a kid because it's like it'll be a cheaper cut, but it'll like and it won't have a lot of like gristle and stuff in it. So like he'll get used to the meat flavor.
It was definitely like I guess a decent cut of meat. Like you said, it wasn't a lot of fat. It was about. It would have probably made like a perfect steak sandwich.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same size cut that they do for filet mignons. Yeah, but it's not as tender. It's a little more chewy.
This like so. I guess to fast forward to the next day when I made it for him for breakfast because he was mostly eating on his mom's steak. Like, let me get some more of that. So I warmed up some butter. Like a little bit of butter. Then I cut it like really thin and put it in a skillet and just like I warmed up the skillet and the butter first and then like swished it around and let it kiss the butter and then like took it right out. Like I just warmed it over. I didn't microwave it or nothing. So then like he had like steak and frites for breakfast the next morning. My youngest son who eats like 7 different things. You'll eat chicken wings, so we got him the wings. We got the shrimp for the table. Those shrimp, like the shrimp, of course the blooming onion, the blooming chicken and the blooming chicken sandwich all use the same crust.
Mhm.
Like it might not have been last year, but it's like maybe the year before. It was. I think it was like February last year. We went on vacation, and that was the first time I had the blooming onion chicken sandwich. Man, they that shit definitely give Popeyes a run for his money. That thing is good as hell.
I didn't know they had a chicken sandwich. I haven't eaten at an Outback in like 7 years. I've had there's one like by Parmatown.
Yeah.
And then there's like I know of one out by like Crocker Park area. I'm sure there's more. I know there's more around, but I think there's one like down like Valley View, like Independence.
Yeah, there's one in Independence. One time I was there. I know I probably told the story on the show before, but I was there and there was this pimp there with some of his hoes and his whole fell. No, I don't know if I might have been mixing up the times, but I definitely seen some pimps and some hoes. And then one time I went there and somebody fell. But either way,
Man, we were down in that area a couple weeks ago. So I think I've referred to him on the show as Drunk Mike in the past.
Yeah, P Couch.
Yeah, P Couch. He turned 40 last month.
Congratulations.
And me and my buddy took him out to dinner. And like we weren't taking him anywhere like mega fancy or expensive or whatever. So like we gave him a couple options and he picked Don Shula's Steakhouse.
Oh, okay.
Down there in Independence. We didn't know that Don Shula's Steakhouse was in a like Motel 6 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And when we got there, it wasn't even Don Shula's Steakhouse anymore. Like it had a name or something that like I don't even remember. But like you know when like you're excited to go somewhere you've never been, and then you get there, and it's the complete opposite of like amazing.
Oh.
Like you walk in and it's like dead inside. There's like it's like a half remodels happen and they haven't finished the other half, and then you look at like the 6 patrons that are in the place, and they're like 75 years old and they look like they don't want to be alive anymore. That's what Don Shula's was that night for us. Like,
so
we ended up leaving. Like we went to the table, we looked around and we're just like, we're gonna go someplace else. Sorry, it's us, not you. And we left. We ended up going to a place around the corner. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's like over by the bowling alley. I can look it up, but it was one of those places where it's like it's itself is also not fancy, but it's solid for what it is.
The same exact thing happened to me last week. So I called off work one day last week. Like my youngest son had a doctor's appointment, but it was early, and I was just like, I really didn't feel like after going to the doctor with him, like going to work and the whole work rigmarole. Even though it's much less rigmarole these days, but I was like, man, you know where I ain't been to a long time? A Denny's. So I was like, oh man.
We were literally talking about Denny's in our group chat the other night.
I went into the Denny's. I looked at the menu, like all the the moon over my hammy and stuff like that. That familiar stuff was on the menu, but their whole menu was called the influencer menu, and I was like all these different things. Like, yeah, you can have an influencer shake, and they had like people who look kind of familiar as far as influencers go. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna try that. So. Like the lady had brought me a water in the menu, and I just looked through the menu. I was just like, I don't want any of these things on here. So like I left $2. I didn't even drink the water. I left $2 on the table and left. I don't do that kind of stuff. I know this is weird, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I'll say it anyway. As a black man, I don't do that kind of stuff. Like if I go somewhere, even if I don't feel comfortable, I'm going to order something and not like it. Or I'm going to buy something in that store and don't need it, and then I'll leave. But I was just like, I'm 41 now. Fuck that. I'm not going to just... It was literally nothing I wanted on that menu, and all this stuff on there was weird. So I left the $2 on the table. But, so my son had his first steak. He liked it. My other son got macaroni and cheese. He didn't eat it. We left.
Did it look better or worse than the mac and cheese I sent you the picture of when I was on jury duty?
It looked better, but it probably didn't taste better. So yeah, like the next day, I was off for that Wednesday and trying to find stuff for the kids to do so they're not watching YouTube videos all day. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but we went to Chuck E. Cheese. I know Delvin Cox thinks, hey, Chuck E. Cheese ain't great, but tell me where for an hour, like it works so well, like you take the car, you put money on the car for the hour. You do all the games you can do. We're pretty good at passing the card back and forth between us and getting it done. And then we leave. They can't be like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. Can we stay here and do this? I'm like, go ahead, try. The card is over. But now we can go get some of these weak ass prizes now. But look, go ahead, try to get something. And like, oh, okay. And they pretty much understand. They know they don't really want no pizza. I'm like, we can go now, and we left. It was pretty successful. Like going to trying to go to work and like entertain the kids is pretty hard. Like today, like I had to stop a couple times, and I had to make lunch. I didn't have to make breakfast this morning, but like figuring out something to make for them, and it's not necessarily a challenge, but sometimes it can be a little tedious when I'm supposed to be working and concentrating on work.
Yeah, I can't imagine that that's easy. Like, they're at that age where like they're a little self-sufficient, but they still need like almost constant parent supervision, and it's hard to pull that off when you're trying to maintain gainful employment.
Yeah. I sometimes I feel like maybe I'll try harder at work when they're like a couple years older. And maybe I'll apply for a more challenging position when I can be like, yes, I don't have to, do such and such, or just stop. Just stop what I'm doing sometimes. Because most jobs aren't like that. I'm not going to be able to like stop at a moment's notice if I'm in a call center, or if they switch my job and I have to talk on the phone. Mm-hmm. So, and what's so funny is like I don't know. I might have to do that because like your old group, they used to talk on the phone, and I'm like going to be cross trained with somebody in your old group, even though that was my old group too.
Well, good luck. I hope that works out for you, and it's not as draining as it was for me.
We'll see. I don't think it'll be draining because like I did do that job. I'm glad I got out when I did.
Me too. It worked out.
It all works out in the end.
Sometimes you just need a slump buster.
A slump buster. Is that what they call them nowadays?
It's like a stepping stone job,
Oh, I thought you were talking about a cum dumpster. Sorry.
Oh, no. Different conversation.
Holy smokes. Oh.
I usually bandy that term about when I feel my friends are getting too self-righteous.
You call them a cum dumpster?
No, like I'll refer to people as that, just to try and bring them back down to a little bit. Like, come on now, we ain't out here saving everybody.
You tell them they married a cum dumpster? Is that what you telling these fools?
No.
Oh, I was like, damn, my nigga.
No.
If they did, If
they did, I wouldn't say it.
Despite probably. You thinking it, you just like let it walk. Like,
yeah, but no, I don't think that about any of my buddies' wives.
I know.
At least I don't think so.
Except for that one.
I mean, if I think hard enough and I know enough people, like I could probably come up with one, but
I just opened up our IG chat and man, That was wild sometimes.
I'm saying that is wild to be on IG,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that's all a nigga saying. I'm like, damn, that is in my opinion nearly crossing the line.
That is not nearly crossing the line. That is way over the line. That was super gross. Not super gross.
Now, on that point, we disagree, but that's okay.
I'm saying the way it looks super gross because it is unkempt. Like even through a more robust amount of hair, there still should be some kind of being like, you know what, I do got an afro, but I still got it lined up.
A fair take.
I don't know if I should be clicking on this now.
I mean,
I want to know your opinion.
This is some shenanigans. I'm going to be upset.
It's shenanigans, but I'm telling you right now, it's on IG.
He sent it saying that it was shenanigans, but yet it's double shenanigans because I feel like it's kind of gross.
This is a little unnecessary.
That's wild to be on IG, right? That's my point, right?
I see people complaining about getting like their shit taken down for stuff that like I see everybody doing.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit where I'm just like, nah, son. This isn't the kind of stuff that gets me. But you know, everybody's different. They all got their thing. Like, I think for me, the thing about it is just like the fact that I can see the hairs to the like if you're looking at it to the left. So it's not the ones at the top that bother me. It's like the fact that the shrubbery's coming out the sides.
Yes, indeed. I was going to show you something, but IG already took it down. But see, okay, so the top isn't necessarily the bad thing. It's that shit on the side right there, the wispiness. That's what's getting me right there.
Yeah, it almost looks like they tried to keep it in check, and then they just stopped, like 75% of the way through.
Yeah.
Like, that's good enough. This is IG ready.
That little brown sugar on the top of the bowl, I'm not mad at. But all that brown sugar that's around, all spilling out on the bowl and on the table.
It's like they built the airport and they got the landing strip down, but they didn't clear the trees to the left of the runway, and they just kind of like let the grass grow a little too high.
Not only is it grass too high, it's trash bags and CVS bags caught in the.
Yeah, the community service people came through with the little poker sticks, but they didn't take the bags with them when they left.
Yeah. I ain't on that shit.
That's that shit I don't like. Oh my god.
I'll tell you though, I feel like this is a sign of maturity. Is there are times when I'll scroll through Instagram and there'll be people where like when I first see them, I'd be like, I'd eat their pussy. Not knowing them, not knowing the quality, not even seeing their pussy, but I just look at them like, I would do it.
You have shared this in the past. It's growth on his part.
Yeah, maturity for me.
Yeah.
We've had conversations in the past that was almost a decade ago. He was like, "Yeah, that pussy could get ate." So I don't know where you grew.
I know, but I feel like those were people that I was interested in. Now it's kind of like when they say that like when a woman meets a man, she knows within like 10 seconds if she would sleep with him or not. I'm like that now, but for eating pussy.
So your Cunnilingus counter has went down or up?
I would say up.
Man, that was the 59 minutes in. You got your show title.
So, like, I can imagine like if you had like a little counter,
like a golf stroke counter.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, I hit 95 today. In the past, I only hit 22. I do honestly miss. I know I say this from time to time. I do miss like sharing stuff with you on TikTok because you influenced me to want to go on TikTok, and that's kind of like we'll go back to golf since you said golf counter. Like you got me into golf, and I'm my strokes is going down and stuff. He's like, I want to play golf.
I'll be honest too. Like it wasn't even like I planned it. it was just like one day I stopped and then I just never came back. It wasn't like I was like, I can't stand this app, or it was just one day I didn't go on, and then one day became 2, and then one day became a week, and then one day became a month, and here we are a year and a half later.
Yeah, I haven't really been on it. I think I seen T has sent me 48 message links on there or TikToks, and I looked at them. But I've been with all my free time, I've been playing Snap, or doing like other stuff.
You miss you in your absence from TikTok. Miss me hit 1 million fucking views on a video.
Oh wow! Oh the opening video.
Yeah, I got 1.1 views on something, Box.
Man, that's big time.
Yeah, it'll never happen again. But
I mean, you could probably make it happen. Like, just do something crazy, like go attack someone or something.
Or and you didn't have to put fake body in your
Yeah, you out there showing dick hair?
Showing dick hair. No. I'm pretty sure we discussed it. It was just me opening my damn Scott Pilgrim that I guess I could have showed you tonight, but I didn't think to do.
Now, see, that's the kind of thing I wouldn't expect to pop on TikTok, because I feel like most of the people on TikTok are in Scott Pilgrim age.
So I'm okay. Well, okay. This is me sliding in. My report is going a little bit of ahead of Box's report today this week, y'all. It showed up just shy of 2 years since I ordered it. Had we gotten to January next month, it would have been 2 years since I ordered it. So I was super hyped to get it, and so I was like, Xander,
can I ask a question?
Oh,
when you ordered it, was it in like pre-production or like?
I'll get you there.
Because I'm only asking because I would start to lose faith after it doesn't show up after like 6 months.
So that's a part of the story as well. So when I finally got here, I was like, Xander, help me film this. And so we filmed the unboxing. It goes up, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. It does it normal. I can get you about 700 views on a TikTok. Nothing terrible. Nothing great. You know what I'm saying? And then out of nowhere, that bitch just started cooking, and it got into the what's called basically the algorithmic river of TikTok, which means people were not only watching it, but talking about it, and that means they were responding. And then they were saving it, and once they start doing that, it gets you that basically that you are straight in the rapids that is the algorithm of TikTok. And so then people were duetting the video, and or watching it and commenting about the video, and of course that gets it chunking again, right? And for a while there, I could not. TikTok became way less enjoyable, because it would be hundreds and hundreds of notifications. And I'm just like, bro, all I want to do is see what my boys is sending me. That's what I go to TikTok for. Ant sends me shit. Chalfie sends me shit. Fucking Fowler sends me shit. And so forth. And it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? That's what I go there for. I tell Vanessa all the time, it has become a love language of mine. I love sending her the shit I find on TikTok. Truly, I do. And so it just starts cooking. I'm like, oh, look at that. It's up to 1,000. Oh, it's up to 100,000. Oh shit, it's up to 500,000. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And I left it at that. And around 500,000 was, I was like, all right, I'm cool. Wherever this goes after this is cool. Then it got to 750, and I was like, well, that's too close to 1 million for me not to hit 1 million. I got to get 1 million. But basically, what it is in the video, I'm super excited to be opening the package. I say, I ordered this pre-pandemic, but I didn't. I ordered it in 2021, which is definitely in the midst of the pandemic. And so in the video, if you look at the video, I correct myself in the video via text. I go, wait a minute, I'm a liar. It says right there that I ordered this in 2021, not 2020. Me thinking that should be good enough. But it's not good enough for niggas, because niggas don't know, they don't fucking read. All they hear me saying is, you said you ordered pre-pandemic, but 2021 is clearly the pandemic. Over and over and over again, because people are saying that shit to me. And for a while there, I'll respond to each and every one of them. I go, you are right. I did say that, but I corrected myself in the video right there. The video you clearly didn't watch if you didn't fucking hear, you didn't see that I corrected myself. And then after a while, I was like, I'm not correcting these motherfuckers no more. In fact, if you say something sideways to me, I'm deleting your shit because you have that power on TikTok. I'll just go through. Like, okay, you talking reckless? Delete. Somebody said they could hear somebody breathing in the background. There's my kid breathing in the background. You could hear the breathing in the background because it turns out my kid had fucked up tonsils. And I was like, fuck you, delete. Ain't gonna talk about my fucking kid on some wild shit, some reckless shit. So it's like I said, I handled it as best I could. And at this point, I still get likes on it every goddamn day. I still get followers on it every day, but it is calm. It's normal now. It's like 2 or 3 people will like it every day. 3 more people will follow me every day. But it's just one video. And in the middle of that video, somebody was like, hey, what does that part of the package look like? And so I made a response video to that. I was like, oh, cool. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. That one got like 27,000 views. That's cool to me. That's the one I'm actually like proud of, because that one is somebody asked to see something. I showed it to them. They were super hyped to see it, and other people were like, "That's cool. Did you understand that that's the other basically making Scott Pilgrim look like the old school Sonic logo?" People were discussing the video game more than discussing me and my fuck up of saying it was pre-pandemic and not. And I'm just like, bruh. Y'all got to fucking chill. So basically, people was just mad. Not people. Some people were mad. But then, so here's another thing that got the engine running. People were eventually getting to the point where they're like, people were doing my dirty work for me. Like, you clearly didn't watch the video because he corrects it right there and says it wasn't pre-pandemic. So people start getting hyped for me and start getting mad at motherfuckers. Then somebody who's like, hey, I made those records because that's, okay, so you're wondering what held it up. What held it up is I ordered the Scott Pilgrim KO edition from Limited Run Games. And basically comes in like a miniature roadie case. It's the game, some stickers, and a bunch of other bullshit. Great. But I also in that same order said that they had the soundtrack available on vinyl for the first time since they released it originally. And I was like, I buy records. Limited Run Games won't send your shit out separately. And it says so right there. It's like, look, all your order ships at once, and it won't ship until all your orders ready to be shipped. A little fine print that they got on your ass that people don't know and I didn't notice. And until the record was made, they weren't going to send me my fucking game. And as it turns out, all of last year, the companies around the world that make records got one fucking artist in their headlights, and they was making records for her and only her. And that was Adele. Because Adele dropped a new album last year, and all the companies around the world that pressed vinyl was like, we making Adele records because them shits is going to sell like hotcakes. Guess what? Didn't really sell like hotcakes. People fuck with Adele. If they listen to her on Spotify, they not all buying vinyl. This year, they say it's T Swift's. I'm saying her new album, they say, is what's causing the vinyl backup. Because there's still a backup on vinyl. I ordered a record from my man, Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. And I literally had to hit him up the other day. I was like, hey, where's this record at, my guy? And he was like, bruh, I'm sorry. Everything's running behind in the vinyl pressing industry right now. And so why I believed or why I didn't feel like they was going to fuck me on the deal box is because they kept sending emails saying, hey, we just got these in. They'll be shipping soon. But they do that like once a month, every month, and never send me my fucking shit. So I'm sitting there with just hope. And then I finally got to the point where I'm like, I'm writing them back. I'm like, where the fuck is this shit at? And they'd be like, oh, yo, it's coming. We sorry. We just running behind. And I was like, and it'll be there in X amount of time. X amount of time comes and goes, and I have to hit them up again. Hey, bruh, you said it's going to be here right now. What happened? And after a while, then they finally even stopped just responding. So their customer service was just so shitty that I'm just like, I can't fuck with these people no more. I simply cannot buy things from them. And I can't say, I have a pretty decent sample selection of limited run products in my house. I have spent some good dough with this company, and I can't do it no more, man. I cannot support a company that truly just was like, I don't care no more. I get it. There's probably a lot more like me who was coming down, clapping at them like, what is fucking going on with your shit or my order? And they probably were tired of hearing it, but it's like, that is what customer service is. You gotta hear it and deal with it. And they simply weren't good about it. And so I'm like, I can't get down with a company like that. And like I said, they constantly like have stuff come up every week that I'm like, man, I want that. And I'm like, I can't support you. I just can't. So it sucks. And because I love that company, I love most of the products they make. They had a sweet ass Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge. It came in like what looked like an old school VHS cassette tape box.
Mhm.
They're so cool looking. I was like, no, they ain't sent me my other shit. I can't be ordering from them. And so, yeah, that is a story of how T got 1 million plus views on TikTok, and how dumb that is. That all of a sudden, me basically erring in how I said something, and then correcting it, in my opinion, fixing it. If you look at the video, and I hope if you're on TikTok, I am Taylor713 on there, just like I'm everywhere else. It's of. I hadn't made too many videos since then, so it's right there. You'll be able to find it, and you can give it a look, and you can be like, clearly, right there, he corrects himself. Clear as day, but not clear enough for some people. So dumb.
I've had a not nearly as great as T, but a slight brush with the internet fame as of late. With, oddly enough, I think a set of videos that Lunch start getting his hip to first is where this black dude be cutting white dude's hair and we be making them look real good.
Yeah.
So it's this one video where it's a young kid getting his haircut. And he get his haircut, look fresh at the end, but when he stands up, there's a gold chain there. And I'm like, and I commented on there like, man, that gold chain came out of nowhere. And like every day, I get a comment or a like from that small comment I made. I'm up to like 121 likes on that one comment every day. So I'm like, oh yeah, that gold chain did come out of nowhere.
I have one similar to that where it's a TikTok video, and my comment on that video was, yo, this makes me feel mad uncomfy. And I said that months ago, and to this day, at least one a day, somebody likes that comment, and I'm just like, should I go and delete that comment? Because I'm kind of, it's just weird.
I've had a couple, but they were me getting attacked.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've seen you get into a couple of sports shit almost always, right?
The last two that I can think of where one was, it was something on Instagram. I don't remember exactly what the picture was because this was a couple months back. But I remember I commented, I think I said it was the scam call center capital of the world or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It was something to do with the Middle East. And then I had a bunch of people calling me like an American piece of shit.
Oh
and
no.
saying that like all we do is shoot up schools, and like it was like the most ridiculous shit. And I was like, nothing I said is non-factual. I'm like, your country literally is known for having just massive buildings that all you do is call people and steal their money. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I know, like, we shoot people too. Like, you know, we all have our problems. You know, people call me like an American pig and shit like that. And I'm like, all right. So that, you know, finally that died down after a while on Instagram. But every day I was logging into that. And then I would say about a month ago, AEW, the wrestling company, they basically signed like a Japanese guy to a contract. And like the way when they sign people, they always make like this graphic where it's like a gray brick wall and it says like so and so is all elite, and he'll post it to like Twitter and Instagram and shit. And I said something under it because what always ends up happening, it seems, is they'll sign someone new. They'll like do the little graphic where everyone goes, "Oh my god, they signed this person," and then like they'll be on TV for like a week or two, and then they'll vanish for like 3 to 4 months, and then they just show back up, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, this person has a match record of 27-5," and I'm like, 27-5. I'm like, I haven't seen them on TV in 4 months. Where the fuck have they been wrestling? Turns out they've been fucking wrestling on the YouTube show that nobody watches, right? You know? So I just said something to the effect of, man, I can't wait for this guy to win his debut match on Wednesday Night Dynamite and then immediately be ushered off to, to having matches on the Nightmare Factory's TikTok account, where he'll eventually show back up at a tournament in 5 months with a record of 23-7. And then people were commenting me like, fucking scumbag, don't really watch AEW, don't know what you're talking about, go suck Jim Cornette's cock, motherfucker, and shit like that. Wow. And I'm just
who's Jim Cornette? How did he get involved in this operation?
So Jim Cornette is a prominent wrestling figure who was very popular in the 80s and 90s. He was a manager of, like, in WWE back in the day. He's the one that used to come out and hold the tennis racket.
Sorta, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's like from Kentucky. He would always wear like a white suit jacket kind of deal with like a red tie, and he carried like a tennis racket around or whatever. But anyway, he has a podcast. Like he used to like do management stuff. Like he worked in WWE for a while. He owned his own promotion back in the 80s. He worked at Impact for a while. He worked at Ring of Honor for a while. He's gotten in trouble for saying shit that people think is like misogynistic or racist or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not here to fucking defend anybody. I don't listen to everything a man says and all that shit, but whatever. He does a podcast that's very popular. And so these people thought that, like, because of what I said, that meant that I was like some sort of like Jim Cornette, like super fan or whatever. Like every now and again, I'll listen to what the dude has to say when he's like critiquing like some of the shows or matches or stuff. Cause like, you know, whether you like agree with like some of the things that he says as far as like their PC level, like the man's been in the wrestling industry for fucking like 40 years. So it's like he has some insight into how things work or how they're supposed to run or whatever. So, sure. But like they take like what I said, didn't fucking read what I said, then this is what you and I were talking about earlier today at your house. Not reading what the person fucking writes, understanding what they wrote, but then twisting it in your own fucking head and then attacking the person for what you think they said, not what they actually said. Because like, I was just like, how could these people be this fucking stupid? This, like, because they thought I was attacking the wrestler. Like, I thought the wrestler was shitty, or like, how could they sign him? It's not, and it's not what I said. I was critiquing the company for how they were going to utilize him based on how they've utilized people in the same position in the past. But I had all these fucking idiot internet wrestling fans coming at me, trying to insult me and tear me down and shit because they couldn't fucking read and understand. And so like I go into like my group chat with my buddies and I send them the link to the tweet that I was talking about, because like some of them in there watch wrestling and they know what's going on and they're hip to it too. And they read it and they go, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, you're not wrong. So, like, my one buddy goes in there and he's like, you guys aren't fucking reading what he said. Like, you're all idiots. And then I had another buddy, like, that I've known from when I played Magic who, like, commented and was just like, oh, he's, like, one of the best wrestlers in the world. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about him. I'm like, he just happens to be on the graphic. You could literally insert any other person into the graphic, and what I said still holds true. These people just don't understand what I'm saying, and they want to be mad, and that is how they all react. So, like, old me would have gotten into that fucking chain, that tweet chain, and I would have started a fight with every single person that stepped to me and tried to insult me or tear me down or call me names, anything. But I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let these people be stupid. Like, I'm not here to fucking correct all these people. Let them yell at the cloud. I'm not going to reply to him. I only replied to my two buddies. That's it. No one else got a reply. I didn't dignify anybody else with a response. But I ended up, what's funny is, you would think that, like, I was so off base with how many people were replying and tearing me down. But then I noticed the like numbers on that tweet going up to the point where it hit triple digits. So clearly, there's not everyone out there is a dum-dum. The people who are dum-dums are the ones who want to vocalize their stupidity.
Exactly. They had to open their mouth and prove that they were dumb. What is that Ben Franklin or whoever saying it was saying? Better to be thought a fool and open your mouth and leave no doubt. I believe it's kind of paraphrased that. You know what I'm saying?
Something like that. Yeah. because I remember back in the day, like and I know you're talking like what you're referring to. Like I remember the one time I said something about like LeBron and the Heat, and it got picked up by like some Miami radio sports station, and I had people like coming at me all fucking sideways. I remember like fighting with people that night, and like I just don't have it in me anymore to fight with fucking strangers on the internet that can't read.
And it took me far too long to get there. At least regarding that like I said, this damn. It's me opening a box I got, bruh. How are you this excited about how much do you want to fight me about if it's not when the pandemic started? Because that was the thing. People, the pandemic actually started in 2019. That's why it's called COVID-19. The pandemic actually started in 2020. That's when blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so like I said, for one response, I was just like, okay, let me get you right. No, that second video, the video I told you I'm proud of, I actually talked about on that video. I go, I know that first video I said this. Let me explain something to you. The pandemic started in 2020 in the United States of America in Washington State, where it showed up at a nursing home. I explained myself. Like I said, again, that's why I like that video. And that video, of course, it's got some views, but it didn't get the burn of that other video because it's just it is me showing the person who asked, hey, what's in that box, what they wanted to see, and also explaining myself clear as fucking day, and trying to just leave it be after that. And like I said, it's been, yeah, I shouldn't even let it get that far. I should have just been immediately like, yeah, no, I'm not fucking explaining myself to strangers. They don't deserve it, and I simply refuse to give it to them. And that is something I should have gotten to sooner. But then I got there eventually. So hey, we walked that walk. Fucking bullshit. Anyway, Dan, anything else this week, sir?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Have that.
So, as you guys, I'm pretty sure, I mean, you guys, I'm pretty positive know. I think I might have talked about it on the show, but I joined a bowling team. My buddy started up a bowling league, a team in a new league, a different bowling alley this year, and I was like, man, I've been in my house for 2 years not doing anything, just getting fat again. Maybe I should get out and get a little active, get the ball rolling a little bit, so to speak. And so that started up back in the end of August. And okay. I'm only doing part-time this season. I think I'd have to look at the schedule, but like I think the season goes until like April or so.
Okay.
And so I'm only doing part-time this year because one, I wasn't in the best of shape to start this year, and I didn't feel I had it in me to bowl every week. And also, I wasn't sure for a long time if I'd have a job the way things were going, and I didn't want to commit to paying because everything in the world has gone up in price. Even bowling fees have gone up. Like I pay $25 every time I bowl. Plus we play like friendly poker while we're playing, so that's like $2 a game. So like if I go to bowling, don't win any of the poker cans, and have to pay my fucking bowling fee, it's $31 every time I bowl. So that shit adds up. And so I told him, I'm like, look, they're doing layoffs at work like every other week, and I'm fat and out of shape. I'm like, I can't do this every week. So I will join the team, but on like a part-time basis. So I was basically bowling like every 3 weeks or so, depending on like there was like a week where I called off in October when I was sick, Yeah. But for the majority, I've bowled like every 3 weeks. There was one time where I bowled like 2 weeks in a row because someone couldn't make it or whatever, but we'll just say every 3 weeks for the sake of argument. And so the way it works is this league's a little different than the ones I used to bowl in, where the previous league, it was broken up into thirds. So it was like a team would win a third, and they were guaranteed a spot in the final four. So it was like the 3 thirds would be 3 of the spots. And then I think it was whatever team had the most points throughout the cumulative through the whole year, whatever got the 4th spot or something like that. I could be wrong. It's been a bit, but it was something like that. And so that was how I determined the final 4 for the playoffs and who got to go to the championship and shit like that. This league's different in that they only do 2 halves. So whoever wins the first half plays the winner of the second half in the finals for the championship. And if the same team wins both halves, they're just automatically the champion at the end of the year. So this is our first year in this league, and first time bowling with some of these guys. Like 4 of the people on the team I bowled with at the other place But then two of the guys on the team like know my other buddies from like playing pinball and stuff over the years. So like I just met two of these guys like at the beginning of this whole bowling thing, and so it takes a little while to get things back. You know, like you I don't want to say that I was an amazing bowler, because when I first started bowling about, I think it was around the time I started our company, like, so about 10 years ago. And I was pretty bad for the first couple of years because, like, I didn't even know how to hold the bowling ball. I didn't really know how to throw it right. Like, I was just learning on the fly. And then after a while of, like, people teaching me stuff and me trying to apply it and getting the muscle memory and the technique and everything, I eventually got to a point where I felt like I was becoming a pretty good bowler. Before the pandemic hit, like my average was up to 196. When I first started, my average was like $120 or some shit like that. It was real bad.
Plus,
it's like
you got your own gear and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got your own ball. You got your own shoes.
That was the other thing. Like I used to rent shoes, and I got my own bowling ball and everything. So, because the first ball I had was like a hand-me-down that I was using from somebody else. Like it wasn't even drilled to fit my hand. And so I didn't know how to hold it. Like I didn't know what to do, you know? But the pandemic hit, and like the pandemic like was like it, like I'll put it this way. I felt like I was getting my life together. I was getting my weight down, things were progressing, and then the pandemic just put a hard stop on all the progress that I had made over the last couple of years, and basically fucked me up to the point where like I feel like I'm starting all from beginning again. And getting on this bowling team was kind of like me accepting that I needed to just take a first step to like eventually get myself out of this rut and get going again. And so this league's been going on, like I said, since the end of August. And the way they score it is like every week you bowl a team, and whoever wins a game gets 2 points. And at the end, whoever had the most pins total throughout the 3 games gets an extra point. So this past Monday was basically the week where we determined who won the championship for the first half, we'll call it, you know, who gets the first playoff spot. Going into Monday, we were in a 3-way tie for first place. And so we bowled the team, like we were actually tied for first with the same number of pins. Like we each bowled like 45,000 some odd pins. Like it was the exact same fucking number. It was wild. So we were literally tied for first, and there was a team behind us, but they had less pins. So we bowled the other team. We'll call them 1B. We'll call ourselves 1A. And we lose the first game by 13 pins. And I felt like it was going to be tough because, like, I don't want to, like, talk ill of our captain, my buddy.
Yeah.
But he was choking pretty hard. He was definitely letting the moment, like, kind of – because he's normally an excellent bowler. Like, his average is over 200. But, like, he was kind of, like, you could see it. He was folding under the pressure. Like, I'll put it to you like this. In the 10th frame, he fell down throwing the ball.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah, and like if he like even did anything of it towards his capability, we would probably have won that game. So we end up losing the first game by 13 pins, and it was close the whole way through. We go to the second game, and it's close again, but we ended up eking it out. So we win the second game, we take over total. Then we go to the third game. And he didn't bowl well in the second game either. Like, and I don't think he'll ever hear this, but I'm not really like saying anything that wasn't true or he doesn't know. Yeah. He was having a hard time all night. Like he was missing, he was off, he was short arming throws. Like he literally fell down the one time. He was trying so hard to perform that he was like, it was like he was getting the yips almost.
He overcorrected.
Yep. And my average, like what I said at the beginning, was 196 when COVID happened. Mm-hmm. Well, like in this league, I didn't have a book average because they didn't carry over, so I had to start over. So like I've only bowled a few times this year because, like I said, I was only bowling like every 3 weeks or so. So I only had a handful of weeks under my belt to get my average. So my average going into Monday was only 171. Because the first couple of times we bowled, I didn't bowl that well. Like, I hadn't bowled in almost 2.5 years. Like, I put on a bunch of weight again, so like I don't move as well. So it's taken me a little while to kind of like, it's like a car that's been sitting in a barn for a while. You know, got to knock the rust off, get the shit lubed up again, get moving. And so like a couple weeks ago I bowled and I did pretty well. Like I bowled in the 190s. So like it kind of like felt like it was coming back. You know, I'd be getting a little bit better here and there. Then the last time I bowled, I had a rough week and I only bowled like in like 140s, 150s. But like that was the week where, like I said, I felt like I was like tired and like my body was fighting off the cold that it wasn't showing me that I had or something, but I was just out of it and I didn't bowl well that week. So then I didn't bowl again until the championship week this week. And the first game that we narrowly lost, I bowled a 186. So I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing my part, I'm over average, like I'm contributing, you know, I'm doing well. And but we narrowly lost that game. Second game, I bowl a 201. So like I'm picking it up. I'm in hit, you know, like, and we end up winning that game. The third game, I bowl a 221.
Nice.
And we ended up barely winning. Like my buddy, the captain, was under average again. It came down to like, we got our anchor, the fifth bowler, had to strike on the first throw of the 10th to like guarantee our victory. That's how close it was. Like we narrowly beat the other team. But keep in mind, we were tied for first. So it wasn't like we were bowling nobodies. We were literally bowling the other best team in the league. So we ended up taking 5 of the 7 points. Problem is, the team that was behind us in de facto third also took 5 points because we were tied on points, but we were ahead on pins. But the pins don't matter at the end. It's all about the points. So we were tied with them. But then the team that was down in fifth took 7 from the team in sixth. So they leapt up, and we were in a 3-way tie at the end of what was supposed to be the cut down. So what ended up happening was we had to wait around the bowling alley for another hour to wait for everyone else to finish so that we could, us 3 teams could all go down to the end of the alley, wait for the crew to come out and re-oil the lanes with the machine, and then the 3 of us all had to do a 1-game roll-off, winner take all, to determine who was the first half champion. And
incredible. This was France versus Argentina all over again.
Yeah. So keep in mind, I'm not in peak athletic shape at this point. Like, I'm feeling a little bit better, a little bit healthier, but like I'm still super overweight. Like, it's not like I've been working out at home in my gym and shit or going on walks or whatever. Like, I've just been starting to eat a little bit better, eat a little bit less, and I've been bowling every couple of weeks. So like, this is the rust and the weight are not knocked off yet. So bowling 3 games for me, I can get through it, but I'm usually tired by the time we get to the end of that third game. Yeah. And now I've been sitting for an hour doing nothing,
just
but
getting
waiting,
cold,
getting cold and stiff. And now we have to go down to the alley, bowl on different lanes that now have fresh oil on them, and they gave us 5 minutes to warm up for practice. So also, our team, like, this is a handicap league, so like you get teams with lower averages get free pins to help compensate for bowling against a team with higher skill. Mm-hmm. The one team was getting 9 free pins. The other team was getting 44 free pins.
Oh, wow.
We got 0. So we just had to fucking straight up molly. We had to beat the other 2 teams straight up. We didn't get a bonus.
Yeah.
So we're bowling, and like I'm having a hard time the first couple frames because like I'm stiff and things are hurting. But like I didn't throw strikes, but I was making spares. So at least I threw 1 split. And then all of a sudden, in like I think it was the 6th frame, I strike, and then my buddy behind me strikes, and then the next guy strikes, and then the next guy strikes, and then the next guy strikes. Then it comes back up to me. Then it comes back up to me at the top. I strike again. Then the next guy strikes 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 again. Then it comes back up to me. I strike again. And I look and like
turkey?
I had a turkey.
Nice.
And everyone else on the team, we're all in doubles. Like we bowled 11 straight strikes as a team. And I'm looking at the score and I'm looking around because like we were all on lanes like next to each other. It was like we had the 2, then the other team to our right had 2, and then the team to our left had 2. So I could see all the monitors with all the scores, right? And I knew what extra pins they were getting and shit. So I'm doing the mental math. The team to our right was like, they were a frame ahead of us because we had a deadwood that we had to wait for to get removed at one point. So we were a couple minutes behind. And I'm looking over, they're a frame ahead and they're 150 pins behind. And then I'm looking to our left and I'm seeing miss and miss and miss and miss. And like, they're like 200 pins behind. And I'm like, oh shit. So we ended up bowling and like, we're making marks. Like there were some strikes and stuff. A couple guys missed, but like they made spares and stuff. And then I look and we're getting to the 10th frame and I realize no matter what the other 2 teams do, they can't catch us because we just went on such, like the one guy on our team, he bowled 11 strikes. He only had 1 non-strike frame and it was a spare. He bowled a 279.
Wow.
I bowled like a 186, which was over my average. My captain, who I said was struggling in the cut down, came back to life and he bowled like a 220. My other guys bowled like in the 200s. Like when it was all said and done, the team to our right bowled a 930 and they got 9 pins. So they bowled a 939. And the team to our left bowled a 933 with 44 free pins. So they bowled a 977. Our team with no free pins bowled 1,133. We fucking just mollywopped them.
You had to body these fools. Like,
yeah.
There's a reason you play with that handicap. Because y'all ain't as good as we are. That's dope.
So now we're guaranteed a seat in the finals at the end of the year if we don't win the second half. But if we win the second half, we're just automatically the champions of the league the first year in the league.
Okay. Yeah, if y'all bowling that well, bro, on a fresh oiled surface, hell yeah.
Got it dialed in and started going for it. I love it. Shit. The bowling champs of this bitch.
It sounds like you guys were like the Bad News Bears of bowling that night.
Oh my God.
It was just a good feeling because like I said, we bowled in that other league. I was in that league for like 8 years and like my buddies, they were in the league before that. So like, cause I joined when my buddy's grandpa had to retire. Rest in peace to him. He passed away a couple months ago.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, like he had broken something and they needed a replacement. So that's why I initially joined. And I just ended up staying on and because like they had a couple of older guys that they'd kicked off the team because they wanted to move more towards like family and younger guys.
Yeah.
And but like, you know, like his grandpa bowled for like another year or so with us, but like he got to the point where like he couldn't really drive anymore and it was hard for him to hold the ball and stuff. So like he was kind of forced into retirement. And then like our one buddy, like his kids got older and they were getting into baseball and it was more of like he wanted to bowl with his grandpa and stuff. So like he kind of like didn't bowl the last year because it was like it wasn't family for him anymore other than my one buddy. But like my one buddy didn't really bowl for a year because like when they had like the baby, who's his kid's now like I want to say 4, but like, you know, he didn't bowl for like a year when they first had the newborn. So it was like his cousin and his grandpa weren't there anymore. So like I ended up like bowling for him all the time, even on my off weeks, because like he was like either had to work or he had to take his kids because they were on travel baseball teams and stuff. So he eventually ended up quitting, and we had decided to quit that league before like the pandemic even hit. The pandemic just like, accelerated our exit from that bowling league. But now it's like, yeah, it's some buddies and some guys I just met. And but the thing about it was in that other league, we came close to making like the finals one time, but we choked in like the week that we needed to bowl well, you know? So this is the first time where like we were there and we actually fucking finished. Like we executed and we got what we came for. So it was a good feeling to win something. Like I haven't won something competitively that wasn't a video game in quite some time, and like my soul desperately needed it.
I'm glad you got it, man. So with this coming year, like when is it official? Because you said that was the first half.
Mm-hmm. I think the end of the year will be sometime around April or so.
Okay.
Like actually, I can tell you. Just give me 1 second because I have the schedule saved. Looks like the last week is April 24th.
Okay. Do you feel like you're gonna be ready for the next season? Or you gonna go back to practicing? You used to go in like an hour early and
get some throws in.
You get some throws in. You had special permission from work.
Well, I didn't get to go in early per se. Like I did have permission from work to leave like 15, 20 minutes early, but that was just so I could make it there and not be late and actually make it to warm up sometimes. Because traffic was bad trying to get there after work, and like there were times where like I barely got there before bowling started, and so I got permission then to like leave early so I could get there, but. There were times where like I would go to bowling on like a Sunday morning or whatever and just go, bowl some practice for like an hour and a half when I was trying to, learn how to throw and all like that. I don't know if I necessarily need to do that now because like the bowling weeks have kind of taken that and it's muscle memory, like once you know how to do something, even though if you don't do it for a while, after a couple tries, it comes back. Like I was playing a little bit of Magic the Gathering on Friday. We had a game night at my buddy's house, and it was funny because like I was playing my one buddy, and my other buddy was watching me, and he's like, "It's funny." He goes, "I'm watching you," and he goes, "The mannerisms all come back without you even thinking about it. Like the way I draw cards and the way I move the cards around in my hand and the way I touch, like I move the game pieces around when they're in play and stuff." He's like, "It's just like second nature. Like you don't even think about it anymore." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, I literally just fall back into the habit like without thinking about it. It's so quick and seamless, because it's funny. Like I think about my life a lot lately in that like. As you get older, you become more aware of your mortality and all those kinds of things. Yeah. And I think about my life in phases, like I think about how like as a kid, like the video games and stuff or playing basketball in my grandmother's backyard or the basketball leagues I played in. And then I think in my 20s, like playing a lot of street ball, like 3-4 times a week. And then when I got back into Magic the Gathering, I was playing Magic all the time and traveling and, that was such a big part of my life for a while. And then like that stopped. And then I just kind of started doing other stuff, but like, which was like bowling and the podcast. And these things all seem to come in blocks. And like, I appreciate them, but sometimes I miss them too, but like, you can't always do everything forever. Like, I don't feel like at this point in my life that like I could go out there and do like full court basketball, like at least not right now, And it's like as I get older, the less and less that becomes like a reality. But like I miss it because like I love basketball. Like I watch Cavs all the time. I watch NBA. Like it's something that's been part of my life forever. But like I don't feel like I could do it at the level that I used to anymore. But I have to learn to be okay with that. Same thing with like Magic. Like Magic is a big time commitment. It's a money sink. But like it also holds some of my fondest memories of like accomplishments and events with friends and just growing up, because like it taught me how to travel, like how to go places, how to like book hotels, how to keep an itinerary, how to like present myself without acting a fool. It taught me to be competitive, but like cordial, and taught me how to like be gracious in defeat. Then like we moved to bowling, and like bowling kind of took over like what basketball used to provide, but on more of a like buddy scale, like we do see in movies or TV shows where it's like the guys get together every week for bowling because that's their escape from the women folk kind of deal. But like for me, it was something that I was having fun with because I was getting better at it and I could see the progression and I wanted to excel at it. You know, it was like a new challenge. Then like podcasting kind of became like something else that was fun that like, you know, we do it as a group and we you know, learning styles and techniques and, you know, having fun, trying different things, different ideas. And now it's like, you know, the pandemic hit and like I kind of felt like I've just been kind of stuck for the last 3 years where like I've been going to the gym and then all of a sudden that stopped and I don't know, like bowling went away. So I lost that. And like we had the podcast, but it wasn't the same anymore because we don't see each other like we all used to. And I don't know, it's just like people all started dying around me and my pets started dying. And I just feel like I lost what I had and I didn't know how to like move forward because it's like my life's not over, but like, you know, you get kind of like stuck in this rut and you don't know what's next, you know, and like that waiting until you figure it out kind of sucks at times because you felt like you had a grasp on it and now you got to like start fresh, which is exciting, but also kind of like demoralizing at the same time.
Yeah. It's like the different seasons of The Office, but way more depressing.
But I've kind of found some joy in some of those things still. Like I love watching basketball, even though like sometimes I hate the NBA and how it's run. I've started to enjoy Magic again, even though like I have no desire to like be a traveling competitor anymore. That's a young man's game. But like I've started to acquire some of the cards again just to have as like if I ever want to like, you know, put the 4-5 on for one last like go or something, or have a little bit of a collection to look back on as like a memory, kind of like a, you know, a memory thing. Yeah. But I do watch like people like YouTube videos and stuff now, so like I'm hip to like what's going on and what some of the new cards are. It's like I enjoyed like the mental aspect of it all. And if I can get together with some friends every now and again, do like a quiet little dudes night, you know, throw some Magic slinging in, like that's fine too. Yeah. Bowling, like I said, I'm getting back into it. We do this, and like I'm sure, you know, we'll figure out maybe a next evolution of it at some point, or whatever. Because like I don't see us doing this forever, like the way we're doing it now. I don't know how sustainable this is long term. And then I'll just like I guess I'll figure out what's next for me at some point here in the future. Something will happen, and I'll. 'Cause that's the funny thing about life too that I've come to realize is like I sometimes I'll sit back and I'll think like how the fuck did I get to this point where I'm at right now? Like I, you know, like when you're younger, you never think like, man, you're going to be 37 and you're going to be sitting in a home that you bought trying to figure out what the fuck to do with your life. You just end up here. Like a lot of the decisions I made in my life could have went one way or the other. And somehow, some way, the decisions I made led me right to this point. But like, it's all a fucking blur. You know, it's like I didn't know whenever I made whatever decision down back then that it would end me up here. But here I am. And, you know, it's makes life seem crazy, you know.
I heard a saying the other day that really touched me. Wasn't it really touched, but really sparked the thought in my brain. And it was that miracles ain't magic. Like just because like all this spectacular shit that happened to us, and it was like, oh, well, you know, who didn't thought that this would have happened? Like, yes, it's very special, but at the same time, you can't think of it as magic because, like, it's not that. It's the things that you did to put you there, and the good and the bad decisions you made. You got to take it hand in hand, but don't think just because you got there and it was miraculous that it was just some kind of you know, spooky ass shit. It was you. It was you that made those good decisions that made you.
Well, I mean, shit. Sometimes it's even bad decisions. Like, if I had never tried to get romantically involved with someone that I should have never been romantically involved with, I would have never gotten fired from my previous employer, and then ended up unemployed and looking for a job, and had a buddy who worked where I work now who ended up, you know, recommending me, and you know, I wouldn't have like gotten hired and met you guys, and 10 years later, fuck, here we are. Like, you know, none of that shit would have happened had I not done something stupid in my mid-20s.
And that's why if we bounce back 2 weeks, we don't fuck with time travel. Because you just don't know what little tweak.
You know,
anything else.
I will say, though, that, like, one regret is I never got to fucking hit that. I'm just going to say it. I very badly at the time wanted to hit that, and it didn't work out, you know. It's one regret that I have.
If that's the one regret you have, not a bad life.
From that one regret from that situation. That one specific thing. Not in total. I'm sure I have plenty of other regrets or things that made me, like, wonder what would have happened if it went the other way. But not hitting that in that one particular box of situation is one thing if it changed things how they are now, I guess I have to live with it. But I still would have liked to have known what it would have liked to have been behind that ass.
A fair point.
If I had one wish.
I almost wish I could have like a DBC time chamber where I could go in there and do some shit and come back out and like it doesn't affect the rest of the world, but I still get the experience from what was in the time chamber.
Fair. Well, we are running a bit later than I desire, so I'm going to present you guys these 3 Amadassos. You pick one. That's the one we're doing. Here are our options. Oh, excuse me. Each week we head to the mean streets of Reddit and to the subreddit Emma the Asshole, and we find some. We have a good time with it, and we've been doing it before that shit was cool. I'm not joking when I tell you that. Here are your options. Am I the asshole for not allowing my daughter to spend Christmas with me and my new family? I like how that struck you the way. This one, hold on. I got to ask you another one. Oh, of course, we had one from last week. Am I the asshole for leaving a Vegas trip after we got there and ruining the trip for others? And this one, am I the asshole for sleeping naked because my roommate's girlfriend keeps waking me up?
I think I got to hear that, but I don't know how y'all feel.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Then that is the winner this week. Am I the asshole for sleeping naked because my roommate's girlfriend keeps waking me up? I, 19 male, have a roommate. He has a girlfriend. Call her L. Since they have been seeing each other, and when she's been staying around, she has walked in on me and pulled the covers off as a joke. She also walked in on me and my girlfriend, which was the final straw. My roommate has been doing nothing about this, saying, I can't control her. A few days ago, girlfriend was in our flat. So was L. My girlfriend has been getting pissed at L walking in on us. I told her to sleep naked and she will stop probably. At 6, me and my girlfriend was sleeping and L busted through the door and saw us butt naked together. She screamed like she saw a murder scene. My roommate walked in and told us we should have been wearing clothes. I told him that she needs to learn about privacy. I don't know where the British part comes from. I'm sorry, y'all. Privacy first.
That's the creme patissier coming out of you.
He told us we were acting childish. We didn't care. If we're acting childish, she needs to know that it's weird walking in on people like that. So am I the asshole?
No.
No.
Like, I don't understand what this woman is doing. Like, why are you getting a kick out of invading people's privacy?
Because she wants to see them naked, and she finally got to see them naked, and she has to pretend that she's offended to have seen them naked. But that's all she wanted.
Is this one of those things where, like, she's dating the dude that she don't want because she wants to get close to the dude she does want?
Exactly, and it's trying to ruin his relationship with his lady, so she can probably, hopefully, get in on that.
She's probably just hoping that one day she'll come in there and like, oh, what are you doing? You need help?
Or could it be like she wants in on a 3-way?
Maybe.
I'm telling you, and like I said, this time she screamed because of what she had been trying to get happened, and she didn't know what to do with that. So it's like when the dog finally catches their tail, they're like, "What the fuck do I do with this thing?"
I can tell you one thing. Seeing somebody you wouldn't expect to see naked, like your roommate's, your significant other's roommate, it's kind of excellent sometimes. It's one of the best memories I ever had in my life. It was like 20 years ago, but I still remember it like just yesterday. I walked out of her bedroom, and her roommate was walking out of her bedroom. I was like, ah! I screamed out of surprise. I was like, oh, shit. But,
Bruh, I not to just walk down this path, but it must be stated. I can remember every pair of titties I've ever seen in my entire life.
is it like a beautiful mind? Like,
It I just can, and that's okay by me, man.
yeah.
It's because we walk around society where it's frowned upon to have them things out or to be looking and whatnot. So whenever you get like graced with something that's like forbidden fruit, you don't forget that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, I am not sorry that I'm with the person I'm with. But man, seeing a new pair of boobs, it's nothing like it. Like fresh in the flesh, not just a pictorial.
What movie was that? It's either like The Wood or Best Man or something like that. Ain't nothing better than pussy except for some new pussy. And that's no disrespect to whoever you love and what you with and stuff like so on, but that statement is not false. I'll word it that way.
Sometimes too, it's not just about like seeing something or whatever. It's about learning about the person behind them, because not everyone's so willing to be so wild and free with their chesticles. But when you find someone who's just like, yeah, here they are, whoop, you go, wow, I didn't know you were like so wild and free in your headspace. But here we are in the parking lot of this laser tag, and there your titties are.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Laser tag titties.
One pink comment.
I actually went past that parking lot this evening.
One pink comment on this, I'm an asshole comment, and it is, I am a university professor. What you describe sounds like your roommates at university. If you are, speak to your student conduct office. What she's doing counts as sexual harassment. I suspect your roommate and her will sing a different tune once they talk to the student conduct office.
Why you gotta tell people?
Right on, professor. But I mean, if he don't tell, he might be able to get anyway. I played more Vampire Survivor this week, and I you don't really beat that game, but I got to a point in it where the game literally hands come up from the bottom of the screen and applaud you for doing what you've done, and I thought that was pretty kick-ass. I mostly this week has been me, and since last we spoke, has been me completing my Christmas shopping, and the amount of video games downstairs right now is a lot. So I can't wait to wrap them and put them under the tree and so forth and so on. It's going to be real fun. I'm very excited about that. But as for watching stuff, again, we do a whole show about one of the shows I watch, so that's what's up. And I don't think I watched much of anything else. What Christmas? We watched some Christmas movie. Oh, I watched Shazam. Remember last week we talked about shit? I watched Shazam before I watched Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Shazam. Shazam, hands down, the best DCEU movie. Just not even
probably.
Yeah. And then I went to go take my kid to see Black Panther because they hadn't seen Black Panther yet this week, and whatever. So I went to take them to see it, and I see a preview and a poster. Shazam got a sequel coming out very shortly, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Because I didn't realize
trailers out already.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it had not been one of the ones to fall victim to.
They had already made the movie before all that happened,
True, but I'm very excited for that, and I'm glad that Black Adam 2 is already being canceled. We don't got to worry about that. So
I haven't watched Black Adam yet. I'll probably do that this weekend.
Yeah, I might.
Maybe I'll do it on Christmas since I'm not going anywhere.
Fair enough. That might be the time to watch that.
Yeah, I saw that the new what's the fuck's the airplane movie with Tom Cruise? Top Gun. I saw the new Top Gun movies now on Paramount Plus. Yeah.
Oh. So I kind of
it's pretty good. Everyone the first one.
Yeah, everyone says it's really good, so I'll probably end up watching that this weekend too.
Yeah. I want to go see Avatar. Not that I care about Avatar at all, but I want to see a 3D movie that's actually shot in 3D and see if the experience is better than the 3D movies that they just make 3D.
I want to know who the fuck are all these Avatar fans and why are they so quiet?
Oh, that movie was supposed to make. James Cameron swore it was going to make $2 billion that weekend, and it made like $435 million. So it's not going to break even anytime soon. Maybe it will churn along, and who knows? But there are no Avatar fans. There are people who saw that the first time and was like, "This is wild because it's 3D shot with at that point in time cameras that he invented to make that movie." And so it was like, that is a wild way that all that worked out. So people are going to see that for the experience, not the movie. That movie's trash. Trash. Avatar is awful, and Avatar 2 seems not much better.
I watched it like one time back in the day when it first like came onto HBO, and all I remember about it is I was like, this movie is so fucking long, like, and it's not as enjoyable as the length would like let you to believe it would be.
Yeah,
that's all I remember about thinking about it.
This man has 5 more of these he's working on, maybe 4 more.
Yeah, I think it's 4 more after this one is what he's talking about. There's like they're making like a whole Avatar universe or some shit. I'm like, is this necessary?
I think I might have not the saddest Avatar story, but like I remember when I went to go see it, like me and the person I was with had broke up because she was moving to Florida, and like we were still like doing shit together. I don't know why the fuck I was doing shit with her. We had broke up. It was like, well, I'm moving to Florida and you're not moving to Florida, so we can still be friendly until I move to Florida. So we wanted to go see that, and I was just like sad because I knew this was the last time we were probably gonna go to the movies together ever. And she was like, "You seem really to be into this movie." I'm like, "This movie fucking sucks. I just don't want to look." So.
My focus is right here just to keep me not focused on your ass leaving me. So yeah, that's real. God damn, that was sad. I didn't like that story at all.
Obviously, the story has a happy ending. Like I have children, and
yeah. See, it's a butterfly effect.
Yeah,
can't go back in time and change that.
I cannot. And like,
maybe if you seen Batman, she would have stayed.
Not for nothing. I'm glad I didn't like break my life apart and like move to Florida and stuff, because I don't feel like I could have maintained the way that person lives. Like I just couldn't. I just couldn't in my life. Not that like she does anything like wild or nothing like that. It's just the fact that I just couldn't be that person. Mm. So I'm very happy with where I'm at.
Fair enough, people. You know what it is, man. Only thing I'm going to tell you as we wrap this year up of shows is 2 things. Consider supporting us over on Patreon. Cost you $1 at the low end, $10 at the high end. So, and one there in the middle. If you think you want to do that, if you fuck with us enough to do that, great. Don't have to. We still give you a show every week, free of charge, and there's nothing really to it. Also, if you want to support the show, if you want to be like Anthony right now, currently rocking the merch, go over to TeePublic, cop a shirt.
Oh yeah,
it looks good on that particular shade of blue too. Looks nice. I love our logo, bro. I've been considering what I need to do for the 10 year. You know what I'm saying? I got to get something made for the 10th anniversary logo. And
what color is 10 year anniversary? What's is that
10 year anniversary? Let's take a look. I feel like it might
10.
It actually, I think it actually is 10. So a medal of some sort. 10 year anniversary. Tin or aluminum?
Could we do like a
sweet ass can?
Yeah, like a crack open can, like a can of evaporated milk. It shows little edges on top, and we still got the Stay Crunchy milk instead of a bowl. It's in a tin for 10 year.
Or we could do like a Terminator, like the liquid one where he's like molded into the Stays Crunchy logo.
Silver cum, I dig it.
A silver cum dumpster.
Either way, we'll work it out and figure it out. But like I said, I am very proud that we have been doing this show for the length of time we've been doing, and I want to hit that number come May of next year. And yeah, we'll see what we got popping right there. But that's it for him saying, you know what it is, man. Everything else is right at the beginning of the show, which I recognized today as I was listening to the show, because oddly enough, yes, your man listens to his show because it's so much different than my editing ear or just here recording ear. It's a lot of shit we done said that I will have not heard even a little bit of while we record the show or while I edit the show. And then I'll go back and listen to it and be like, oh, that was a good joke. Or, oh, shit, word? How did he say that? How did I miss that? I was there. And it's a delight. It's a delight to do and go back and listen. Plus, like I said, we make a damn good show. And I like podcasts. Guess what? I like this one too because it's really good. If you know, you know. That's Tatum 216.
Good night.
It's Lunchbox 2099.
Or so I've been told.
Our missing man is the real ODP. I am the Entertainer 713. We'll do it again next year, 2023, people. And
Maybe.
You know, so you just got podcast too, and I know you loved it. Peace.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.